Oh my god. Hello Peasants YouTube, welcome to another That's Just Joe video. I'm Joe and that's about it. And yes, I am wearing a poncho because if you remember in Doctor Who Season 5, the episode Amy's Choice, Amy, Rory and the 11th Doctor wore ponchos because it was cool. No, it wasn't. It's because they were freezing cold and about to die. Anyway, we've got some big Doctor Who news that's just dropped. Well, it's not the biggest news. It's not like, who's going to be in the next season, what a Shooty Gatwa's costume looks like. I think that's coming around the corner though. But it is this. It's more Disney Plus Doctor Who stuff. Obviously, I did a video a couple of weeks ago explaining, yes, Disney Plus has the rights basically to transmit Doctor Who on Disney Plus streaming service and across the world, giving access to people outside the United Kingdom and Ireland access to Doctor Who. It's becoming a worldwide phenomenon again. Is that how you say it? Worldwide phenomenon? Anyway, this article from TV Zone, thank you very much TV Zone, has basically confirmed that the budget for Doctor Who has gone up. And I mean up. It's tripled. So Doctor Who on its budget per episode was about 1 to 3 million per ep, and now it's gonna be oh my god, it's triple. It's 10 million per episode now, according to this article. I don't think this has been officially confirmed, but this coming out of this website, they usually solid, to be honest, TV Zone and everything. But it says here, broadcast reports that Doctor Who's existing budget of 1 to 3 million per episode could triple with an episodic budget of 10 million. This would transform Doctor Who into a £100 million franchise. A source told broadcast that it's an incredibly exciting time for the franchise, with Russell T Davies expected to expand the universe with spin-off series similar to Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures. A source told the publication the BBC had to make the decision for the future success of Doctor Who because any show of scale needs a partner. Completely agree. Reliability is the most important factor, irrespective of how many episodes you make or who the Doctor is. If you could bring a single partner with one distribution agreement, Disney Plus, while retaining exclusivity in the UK, that is the best of both worlds for the BBC. So they have a really great deal here at the BBC. They have a really good exposure for the show now, for it becoming worldwide post the 60th anniversary, I believe. It's just exciting times overall. It really is. So basically, Doctor Who is going to be huge. Now, there are positives and negatives to this, I have to say. I'm going to start with the positives, obviously. So the positives are huge budget going forward, post 60th anniversary. I think that's important to understand. So this is post the 60th anniversary specials. So Shooty Gatwa's series going on. The marketing is going to be huge for this show. And I'm not just talking about online marketing and everything. The BBC will still be doing that sort of stuff, but Disney and everyone will be pushing the marketing for the show like they've done with their own series. So it's going to be worldwide. It's going to be posters everywhere. We're going to know when it's on. We're going to know when it hits Disney Plus. Well, people outside the United Kingdom and Ireland will. But also merchandise. Oh my God. Do you remember Doctor Who merchandise? I do. I remember that. I've got a good picture here. I remember walking into Toys R Us and seeing that. And that was actually my first exposure to Doctor Who. I didn't watch Doctor Who till 2006 Christmas special, The Runaway Bride. That was my first exposure to Doctor Who. But this, I remember, was huge on the wall. And there was Doctor Who merchandise everywhere. It was a huge success. And this continued for years to come, basically, with Matt Smith taking over. There was even more merchandise, I believe. But even Peter Capaldi. But when Jodie Whittaker came in as the Doctor, for some reason the merchandise died down, and I never understand why. I guess it's to do with costs, I guess. But B&M has the merchandise rights, but I think that's going to change very soon. So that's another thing. There's going to be so much Doctor Who merchandise everywhere, you won't be able to escape it. And also, the episodes are going to look spectacular. The graphics are going to be amazing. The quality of the episodes are going to be top bloody notch, like really current and 4K, bloody blah, awesome. Now, I do have some negatives, but these are more personal negatives, and I think that's really important to just state. These are my personal negative sort of connotations to this news. Now, it's great that Doctor Who is getting a lot of exposure and everything. I completely agree. More merchandise, bloody blah blah. But I think what I liked about the Russell T Davies era was the sort of low budget look. I think that's what makes Doctor Who work. I really do. And the technology wasn't brilliant, but it had so much heart with what they had to use and everything. And that's something I actually miss pre-now. Like, what I hated about the Jodie Whittaker era is they put those bloody black bars on and everything. It was just like, that's not Doctor Who. It's not supposed to be a cinematic adventure. It's supposed to be a bit weird and, not filmed like a cinema, like a film, like a movie. It's supposed to be filmed like a TV show, but set in space, like a soap opera. But Russell T Davies isn't a man that repeats himself twice. And I understand that, because it's not going to be the same as last time. This is going to be a completely new Doctor Who with a completely new Russell T Davies writing and executing the show, and a lot of new creatives coming into the fold. As much as Doctor Who regenerates themselves, as much as Doctor Who regenerates themselves, so does the show. And that has been the number one rule since day one. So I get it. I do. It has to be current. It has to be Stranger Things like. It has to be high quality. It has to be top notch. So completely get it. But from a personal thing, I just like the cheesiness of it and everything. I am going to miss that about the show, and I think that's what made it work the most. The other good news apart from this, obviously, as it was mentioned in the article from TV Zone, is spin-offs, an expanded Doctor Who universe. Now, we've had this before, obviously, with, Torchwood. Torchwood was huge. I actually didn't catch up with Torchwood till season 3, Children of Earth, and it's fantastic. Obviously, we don't want to talk about, let me just, there we go. That's a lot better. But Torchwood was a massive success globally as a spin-off to Doctor Who, as an adult spin-off to Doctor Who. If you've not seen it, you should definitely go and watch it. And then there's been some spin-offs that haven't quite worked. I can actually move myself now, and that was Class. Class was during the Peter Capaldi era. It just didn't quite hit the beat with audiences. It just wasn't. There was just nothing there really. It was just, 4 very good-looking people. Where's the fat guy running down the corridor? That's my question. That's more realistic of a school. Where's me? Where am I in my poncho, running from the lady from Coronation Street? But there were elements of that show I really liked. But actually, what's really interesting about this, and why this might be very accurate, and as I said, TV Zone, they don't really bullshit. They're quite on the point, and they got this from Broadcast and a source. But what makes this a bit accurate is back in the beginning of 2021, Russell T Davies actually said Doctor Who should have a Marvel-style shared universe of spin-offs. And bear in mind, Russell T Davies knew he was taking over during the pandemic in 2020. So it was before this interview was conducted and this article came out. But he felt that Doctor Who should be just as ambitious as Hollywood's major franchises. And do you know what? I completely agree. And I'm not talking about quality, like I was talking about earlier. Like, I like the sort of roughness and not perfect look of it. But this is talking about an expanded universe of Doctor Who. And I completely agree. I don't really know what sort of spin-off I want to see, because obviously Torchwood's been done. Sarah Jane Adventures, that's another important one that was aimed at children. Class has been done, obviously. But I think something I'd like to see is obviously the 8th Doctor. I'd love to see a bit more of his time as the Doctor, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think so. But it completely depends what Russell's doing with this series going forward. There were plans back in the early days before cinematic universes or television universes, where Russell was going to make a Rose Tyler spin-off show in conjunction with Torchwood and Sarah Jane, but it never happened. So we might see that Rose Tyler show. But what do you think anyway? I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe. I'm really, really looking forward to this era of Doctor Who. I think it's going to be absolutely humongous. It's going to be huge. It's going to take over the world, like I said in my last video. And I'm going to buy a shitload of toys. I'm telling you now. I'm going to buy a shitload of toys. I love toys. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. And may the force be with you. Wrong movie again. Fuck.